Suma ma'am, will you like to share your program with us? Suma ma'am, can you all hear me?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, can you not hear me? Can you all hear me or not?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I think she cannot hear me. Nagashri ma'am, can you not hear me? Suma ma'am, will you like to go first?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it is.
Yes, ma'am. This is my tic-tac-toe game, ma'am.
Okay.
I will run.
Hmm.
I'm just running it, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
The sixth place is already marked, ma'am. If I again enter six, so it's showing error like sorry, it is already taken. Enter another placement.
Okay, perfect. So it is working perfectly. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And what about I give you all one another program to do, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will show that, ma'am. So string is this is the string, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Like multiple number of S's and suma with
Okay.
double A. So maximum number of times occurred character is S.
Perfect.
I took the
So,
string inbuiltly, ma'am. Like I haven't asked the user. This is my program. I
wait,
have
so
I have took the string like inbuiltly through the
okay.
program.
And then you took out the character and so you okay, can you change that string? Change that S the string and write something else, right? Let's say just write any. Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
okay, ma'am?
okay, run this. Yes, this is perfect.
So that's
Perfect. Good, very good.
um,
Okay, you can stop presenting now. Let's move on to Lokesh sir, will you like to share your screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it is. Perfect, good. And what about the other program?
मैम वो ट्राई किया था बट हुआ नहीं.
अच्छा, नो प्रॉब्लम, कोई बात नहीं. सो नाउ Nagashri ma'am, will you like to share a program?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it is visible. Your screen is visible, but your program is not visible. Just letting you know.
I don't know why, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody has any idea on sharing? Stop presenting. I'll see. I'll tell you how to do. When I do it, let me check if it happens. See, in mine, you can actually see. When you click on presenting, do you click on presenting? Then it will be showing you a message that it will be capturing everything that is on a screen. Do you like? Yes, Nagashri ma'am. When you just click over there and go to start presenting, and I think it should work. Does it ask for anything more in your phone?
No, ma'am.
Now try.
Ma'am, is it okay?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Now close your Google Meet, like minimize it, maybe. Yeah, now I can see it. Yes, now go on to your board. Now it is visible.
Hmm.
Where did you write your code? Like on what?
Notepad, ma'am.
Okay. So have you opened it? Because or we can just see your home screen. We cannot see your notepad.
Is it not visible, my notepad, ma'am?
No.
Ma'am, I don't know the reason why it's not visible, ma'am.
Anybody else has any idea? Anybody else knows like why this happens? Why on a phone it doesn't show the thing? Because I can see that you are doing it, but it is just not visible. Mm. Did you get the output, or do you like have any error? Did you get the output?
I will
Huh?
get the output, ma'am. Get the output, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Then it's fine. We can stop presenting. Maybe Google about it later and figure out why this happens.
Okay, ma'am.
Sakshi ma'am, will you like to share your screen? Sakshi ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
will you like to share a program with us?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. And what about the other program?
Ma'am, it's working, but now it
Hmm.
showed me something error.
Try running it again. Close your command line, open your command line again, and then do it. Close it. Close your command line. Yeah, and then close it. Not don't minimize it. Cross close. Your your terminal command line. Yes. Now open it again and then do it. Oh, your class name you've written main. You should write public class task one. Your class name and the name of the file should be the same. I've mentioned this before in the class. Keep that in mind. Yes, now do it. Say Java task one dot Java. Write Java task one dot Java. Oh, in a command in a terminal. What happened? Yeah, write Java task one dot Java, right? Write dot Java. Hmm. What? Why is it doing that? Okay. Yeah,
Ma'am,
you got
it's
the
working.
yes. Perfect. Good. And Shweta ma'am, you sent me an error. You asked me a problem in the group. Were you able to solve it? Yes. Okay. Um, Soma ma'am, will you like to explain the other task question that I gave in the class? You did it right?
Yes, ma'am, I did it, ma'am.
Yeah, because there was somebody who didn't got it right. So can you explain it once in the class?
Sure, ma'am.
Mhm.
Ma'am, hope it is visible, ma'am.
Yes, it is visible.
Here I took a string S1 called as some random string, and then I changed that string to a character array. So why I changed this string to the character array, I will discuss after moving to forward, because I got an error. I will explain that error and I will then say why I changed this. So and then I took the length of the string through the inbuilt function s1 dot length of into n. And after that I took two variables like previous, max, and also max character. uh, so I will discuss the uses of these variables in the further discussion. So now what is our aim? Our aim is to get the maximum occurring string, right? So let me show you the output first. So this is the string, and my output is maximum number of times occurred character is x. So in this string, I got x many times in this string. So this is what the output means. So for this, we need to write the logic first. The logic is, uh, according to my perspective, I wrote the logic as for traversing all the string, I took this loop for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and then uh, to count the occurrence of the string, I took this loop. Like see, for j is equal to I plus 1. For example, this is my first character, right? So I'm searching the string from the next character to the end of the character. I am searching for the x string. So whenever x is equal to next string, so j is equal to I plus 1. The first loop will be like this. I will explain the first loop. Like I is equal to 0. I is equal to 0. Char c is equal to s of I. That means here we are going to get c as c is equal to, we will get c is equal to s of I means I is equal to 0, right? So s of 0 is nothing but like x. So and then here we are taking char c1 is equal to s of j. J is equal to I plus 1. So c1 is equal to s of j means like c1 is equal to also x. So whenever c is equal to c1, that is here c is equal to x and c1 is equal to x, here both are equal, then I am going to increment the present. I'm incrementing the present variable. Like this, I'm going to traverse this until end of the string. Until end of the string, I'm going to traverse. For example, here j is equal to I plus 1, like j is equal to second character. And then j is equal to 3, j is equal to 4. Like this, I'm going to traverse up to j is equal to n. J is less than or less than n. And then I'm going to get all the occurrences of the strings, right? So in present, I'm going to get all the occurrences of the strings. So whenever the present is greater than previous is nothing but 0. For first occurrence, we are going to have previous is equal to 0. So whenever present is greater than previous, I'm keeping the previous as present, and max character is equal to the character I searched. That is nothing but s of I, right? This is the first character I searched. So in max character, I'm going to keep that. And here I will end, like I will end and I will increment. Now I will become 1. For I is equal to 0 iteration, I explained all this, and now I will increment and I becomes 1. So again, for I is equal to 1, all the process is going to happen, and for I is equal to 2, I is equal to 3, I is equal to 4, and until I is less than n. So for all this, for all the occurrences of the character, in order to traverse the string, we are going to use this loop, and at last we are going to have in max character our most occurred string. So I'm going to print that using system.out.println. Here these two lines will print the string and also the maximum number of times occurred character. I don't know whether I'm clear or not. I tried my level best to explain you. If I'm not clear, I'm sorry.
No, perfect. You explained it very well, and I'm very impressed. Like, the reason you were able to explain it so well and explain each and every line is because you actually wrote the code. Because most of the time, sometimes I think like, oh, maybe you guys would have like, got the answer from the internet. But even if you did whatever, you understood the complete thing, and that's very impressive. Very good. All right. So now we'll move on. I will actually. So if we're gonna finish our tic tac toe project, the only part that is left is to get the winner, to declare who won the game. Did somebody win the game? Computer won, the user won, or did the game got tied up? Right? Give me a minute, guys. I'll be back. I'm just getting a call. Just give me a minute. Sorry for that. Yes, sorry for that. So moving on. So now what you all have reached the point is that you can display the user is getting a turn, the CPU is getting a turn, and after that you have even figured out that none of them can choose a similar position, right? Every time anybody tries to take the same position, we display a error message that the position has already been taken. Please choose a separate position, right? But now what we need to do is we need to get the winner, and for that we will make another method which is going to be called is winner. You can call it whatever you want. I've just called it is winner, and it's going to return a string. Now this method is going to return a value which you've not done till now. As far as I remember, we've not done a method where it is returning a value. Usually we write void, right? We write private static void or just void and the function's name. What does void means? Void, the meaning of void in English, it means empty. It means that function is not returning any value. The function is not sending any value back. It is just doing whatever it has to do and it will not send a value back. But if we want, we can send a certain value back to the position where it is returning a value. So what we need to do is we need to get the winner, and for that we will make another method which is going to return
Am I audible? Hope I am. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, so the winning positions can be the first row, second row, third row are occupied. First column, second column, third column are occupied, or diagonally those X positions are occupied. So we have given all those numbers over here, all those positions. So the top row, we made a list, which is an array list. So we've done arrays dot as list 1, 2, 3. So this will store that 1 to 3 position. We have position 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these are all the positions, all right, which are the winning positions. And then we made another list. We work with lists now, so we know that. We made a list of lists. First, we had a list of integer that we did previously, that the player position and CPU position. It was a list of integers. Now, this is a list of lists which will store all of these lists, all right. We named it winning and we said new array list, and then we did winning dot add and we added all of these. Add top row, mid row, bottom row, left row. Is this part clear? I think it is. Okay. So then yeah, so then what we're going to do, we're going to take a for loop, and this for loop will be going through all of these lists. Now you can do your int I equals to 0, I less than list dot length, and then do that. But I've used a different thing. We did this for each loop. I guess we did it for, you can do it with arrays. So you can just say list L and put this colon and give the name of the list. So what will this L contain? This L will contain all the, values of this list one by one. So the first time this loop will work, it will contain the first element, which will be top row. Next, it's going to contain mid row. Third time, it will have bottom row. So this is called a for each loop. This doesn't have those positions like 0, 1, 2 that we do in a normal for loop. This stores the value itself. You can say list L and give winning. And this list should be this data type, the values it has. This list contains lists, right? So the top row is a list, and I hate when this does that. So top row is a list, and mid row is a list, bottom row is a list, right? So this L should be of type list to hold these values. So we write list L colon winning. This is a for each loop, and every time the loop works, L's value is like, it goes from these values. First time it's top row, then mid row, bottom row, left, cross 1, cross 2 to there. And then we check if player position contains all. Contains all means it contains all of the values of L. That means the player one. If CPU position contains all of those, then it means we are showing sorry you lost because the player lost and the CPU won. Else if the player position size plus CPU position size equal 9. That means the complete board is filled but nobody won. That means it was a tie. So we check the player position contains all of any of these. Let's say the top row, mid row, bottom row, any one. That means the player won. If CPU position contains that means the player lost and CPU won. And if the complete board has been filled, that means it was a tie and nobody won. It just tied. Did you understand this? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now look at this return. Now we're going to talk about return. So every time you make a function you make a method which is not void.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes. You want to say something?
can you explain it again?
From where?
Yes. Can you? I'm joining. I have some network issue and I didn't join. I late joined, so can you please explain it all?
Okay, I'll go over it once more. So what we're doing is now we are working on finding who the winner is, because you've already done everything else. The only part that is left is finding the winner. So we made another method which is called isWinner, and we gave it the type string. This is not a void method that we have been doing. Void methods do not return any value. They do not give back any value. If you want your method to give back a certain value, send back certain data, then you can make it of that data type. This data type should be the same as what value we want to send. From this method, we are sending back these strings. We are sending back these strings which will say congratulations or sorry you lost or tie. So this is of type string. If you were sending back any number, this would have been int. If it was any character, it would have been char. So this depends on what value you want to send back. All right. So I'll just talk about return and then I'll explain the whole thing again. So these return statements, now let's say you made a method which is not void. Everything else we have been doing was void. This was void. So it did not have any return statement over here. It didn't use this word return. But if we have a method which is not void, it is of any other data type, string or int or anything, then it needs to have at least one return statement. Actually, just like the thing is, a method can return only one value. A method can return only one value. So it should execute, like when the method finishes, it should execute only one return statement, but it should be there. There can be no situation where nothing is getting returned. If you have made this function not void, then your method should return one value of 100%. And it can return only one value. Is that clear? The method can return only one value, but it needs to do it. If it is not doing it, you will get an error that your method is not returning any value. Okay? So, I'll just go from the top again. What we did was we made all of these lists. And we have this top row which contains all the positions of the top row. Why are we doing this? Because if all the top row is occupied, that means somebody won. If the user did it, then the user won. If the CPU did it, then the CPU won. If the middle row is occupied, then somebody won. Bottom row, the first column, middle column, the last column, the cross, which are these diagonals. You all know how somebody wins in a tic-tac-toe game, right? We know how it works. So we have stored all of these positions in these lists. Then we made another list which is of type list. Yesterday we did, not on yesterday, Saturday, we did that player position, CPU position, which were list of type integer. We wrote integer over here because they were of type int. Now we've made a list of lists. This will store all of these lists. Alright, these are all lists. This winning list will be storing all of these lists. So we made this list same as before, new array list, and we did winning.add top row, winning.add mid row, and we added all of these to this winning list. And then we went through a for loop. Now we used a for each loop just so that you guys are more familiar to different things and are not stuck doing it one way. You should know different ways of doing it. Now what happens in a normal for loop, we take an integer which stores that goes from 0, 1, 2, and using that position we get the values from the list or array or whatever we have. What does a for each loop does? It can only be used on like lists or arrays. It takes this variable, here it is of type list. This type depends on what value is stored inside this list. If the list had integers, we would have had int l and not like list l. If the list was storing strings, we would have had string l and not list l. So we have list l because that list contains lists inside of it. Okay? That list contains several lists and we write list l : winning. So every time this loop runs, L will contain one of these values. So the first time the loop runs, L will contain the top row. Next time it will contain the mid row. Then it will contain the bottom row and left column, like this. Okay, are you understanding that? And then we are going to check if player position contains all the values of L. If player position contains all the L, which is, let's say, the first time it's top row, if it contains all the top row position, then the player won. If CPU, we did else if this happens, then the method just ends because it's done. We got a winner. Else, if CPU position contains all of these, then sorry, you lost. Your player lost and the CPU won. Else, if player position size and CPU position size equal 9, that means if the complete board has been filled, all the 9 positions are filled and there's no position left and nobody has won yet, that means the game had been tied. So we return tie. Did you understand this part? Anybody has any questions? Okay. So now I just told you that we can have only one return, but we need to have one return, but we have written 1, 2, 3, 4 returns in this, and let me tell you how this works, alright? Now, all 4 of these were needed. Why they were needed? Because let's say the player 1, the value congratulations you won will be returned. We write return, congratulations you won, this is a string, it is in double quote, and this value will be sent back from where the function has been called. Wherever is winner will be written, there this value will be sent. But after that, the program will not come back and execute all of this. This all will not be executed anymore. If a return statement is found, as soon as a return statement is found, the function just ends and it goes back from where it was called. It will go back from where it was called. All of this will never be executed. And let's say the player didn't won, the CPU won. Then this value will be sent back and none of this nor this will never be called because it went in the else part. And all of this will never be used because it got a return statement to go back. And same with this, if it got tied, it will only return this value. These values will never be read. The compiler will never go to these values. It will just return this value. And why did we have this extra empty return? Let's say none of these conditions are met. The player didn't win, the CPU didn't win, it was not a tie. There is still positions on your board, the game is still working. Okay, the game is still going on. Nothing happened. At that point, what will be returned? Nothing is, if people have only these, then the point where nobody has won yet, what value is being returned? Nothing is being returned, right? You will get an error that nothing was returned. So for that situation, when it is not a tie and nobody has won yet, an empty string is being returned. This is an empty string. This is not even a single space. This is just empty, 2 double quotes. And this is outside this for loop. This is for the situation when none of these will be true. All of this is false. And so we need to have a return statement. So at any situation, at any point of time when the program is working, only one of this return statement is being read. It is not happening that 2 or more of these return statements are being read. That's why we have written 4 returns, but only one of these will be executed. Alright, are you understanding? You can have only one return statement in your method working at a time. It cannot return multiple values. Anybody has any question regarding this? No? Okay, now let's see where we are getting the return value. We had the string is winner, right? So after, we're going to write it after we have entered a position and placed our position, okay? When the player has taken its turn. After the player has taken its turn, we have taken the string result which will store the returned value and we've called is winner. We are storing the returned value from isWinner into this result. So whatever value will be returned when the game is going on, nothing is happening, empty string will be returned. If the CPU won, it will get sorry you lost. If the player won, it will get congratulations you won. And if it was a tie, it will get tie. So this result string will store that result. And then we check if the length of result is greater than 0, that means it is not an empty string. If it is an empty string, that means the game is still going on, everything should normally go on. But if the result is greater than 0, the length of that string greater than 0, that means it is either a tie or somebody won. We will print that and we will write break. As soon as it gets this break, it gets out of this program. It will get out of this while loop and out of the program. And we are checking this after the player's position for a reason, because if we check it after the CPU position, then you will reach a condition when, let's say, the player won, but the CPU is still trying to find a position to put the value into, but there will be no position left. So it will throw an error. So it should be checked after the player has taken a turn. It will not be checked after the CPU has taken a turn. It will be checked after the player has taken a turn. If you all want, you can know when you're writing your code, you can try putting it after the CPU, and then when you will run the program, you will notice that you are not getting an error, but you are not getting your expected output. So now let's start running it, and then you can see how it is working. Let me make it a bit bigger. Anybody knows how to increase the font of command line? How to zoom into command line? Anybody? No? Yeah, let's see it like this. If I do
Mom, you can right click on the command line font and edit it.
wait, what happened? Ah. What did I do? How do I go back now? It's good to right click on this. Wait, it just shows me this is when I right click. We got this, and let's try making the player win. Alright, so we'll choose 2, and now when I'll choose 3, the first row will be completed, right? So in a program, it will be going to the isWinner part, and it will be checking like if all the player position contains one of those lists. We had a list called top row which contained position 1, 2, 3. So after this move, the player position will have the numbers 1, 2, and 3. So we should get a message saying the player won, right? So it said congratulations you won, and the program ended. It's not going on anymore. First it was just going on again and again till yesterday, till the parts we have done. So but now it just ends after somebody won. So now let's see if we can make the CPU win once, or we can get the tie situation. This is Java. Right? Now let's do once. And see, it is giving you enter placement again, but it is going to the isWinning function every time. What is happening? It checked like did the player position contains any of those positions, like the winning positions. It did not. Did the CPU position does? It did not. And was it a tie? It is not even a tie. So it must have returned the empty string And when we checked that is the string, we are getting an empty string, so it was just empty string, so the program continued. If we would have gotten a certain message, the message would have been displayed and the program would have ended. So let's try making 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give it a 4 now. And okay, so the computer won, but didn't show that the computer won. Let me check it again after this. Let's see if it works this way. Okay. Hmm. Try making a computer win again. So let's say 2, 4, 5. See, now it showed you sorry you lost. Did you see this? And the reason was, so I didn't see it, I didn't check it well before. You need to check the winning situation after every move. So you will be checking it after your uh, when the player has taken a turn. So after the player has placed this marker, you will be checking the winning situation. And after the CPU has placed that marker, you will be checking the winning situation again. So it needs to be checked every time. All right. Now let's even check for tie situation if we can somehow create it. Let's try it. 1 and then 9, 5. Oh, we won. I didn't give notice. I want to create a tie situation. 1, 2, 6.
वानी मैम।
Yes.
मैम कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट की जो साइज है वो थोड़ा इंक्रीज करोगे मैम, फॉन्ट साइज।
Let me see. That's what I was talking about. See, command prompt से करना आता. Let me just search.
मैम मैं बता देता हूँ, कमांड ओपन कीजिए। हेलो 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 वानी मैम। हेलो 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 हेलो
I'm extremely sorry for that. I'm actually just making it clear that I'm not at my own home, so I keep on getting these network issues over there. So, let me connect my laptop. Mm.
Yes, ma'am. Screen share करना.
I'm connecting with my laptop again, so just give me a second, please.
Yes. टॉप पे टॉप 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 बार पे जाना. राइट क्लिक करना. प्रॉपर्टी में जाओ. प्रॉपर्टी. सी.
Okay. So I've increased it as much as I can. Okay, thank you.
ओके.
I think this is much better. Should I go bigger? Should I make it more big? I think it's bigger. Also, we are trying to get a tie situation, so it's 1, 2, 3. Let me go with 4 now. Okay, we'll end up winning again. But if you create a tie situation, somehow you will get the message for tie that the game has been tied, and then it'll again break out of the loop. So let me know if you have any doubts about it, because I think now that the whole project has been completed, so tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'm expecting that by that time you all will be done by the complete tic-tac-toe project. And I remember asking you all to make a GitHub profile, so we will be uploading your project onto GitHub. So as soon as you all will be done with it, you will let me know. Let me know, do you want to upload it on GitHub tomorrow, or do you want me to let's do it day after tomorrow? Like while this session only, I will tell you how to do it so that everybody can put your projects onto GitHub. So I'm expecting a response on, will you be able to finish it by tomorrow or day after tomorrow?
Day after tomorrow, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll do it day after tomorrow. Till then, you guys can ask me whatever doubts you have regarding this. Just complete your whole project. If you can write comments in it, that will be also pretty nice. Give it nice, like comment it and write everything, so the next time you open it, you will know what to do. So it's already over time, so I think we'd end the session over here. And tomorrow, our only topic left with the OOPS concept is inheritance. We'll be doing that, and we'll be going on to do some more coding problems. All right? So if you have any doubts, you can ask me, or you can start leaving the class. Sakshi ma'am, do you have any doubts? You want to ask something? Okay, so if you don't have any doubt, then I'll just end the meeting.
वानी मैम.
Yes.
वानी मैम.
हाँ
वानी
सर.
मैम, आप रिया मैम से एक बार बात कर लेना. ओके.
ओके.
रिया मैम से बात कर लेना
मतलब
आप
मैं
एक
उनको
बार.
कॉल कर दूँ? ठीक है, मैं कर लूँगी. ओके. थैंक यू.